Hello everyone, and here we are back in the studio in Northumberland on another lovely sunny day. Today it's going to be acrylics, but acrylics on watercolour paper. I don't use that acrylic paper stuff. Hate it, it wobbles and the surface comes off. Just use your normal watercolour paper, and this is Langton Rough, £140, and I haven't pre-stretched. And the acrylics I'm going to put on fairly strong, but in some parts I'll also treat it like watercolour, like especially for the sky. Quick drawing first. Now just take the top and the bottom as usual. And this is a scene that I know very well. It's where I walk the boys most nights. But I'm adding a building that's not even there.
When you say boys, you mean the dogs?
Yeah,
not your
Frank and Bert.
collection.
Dogs? You called them dogs? It's a good job they're not here to hear that.
Well, they're busy chomping on the
On their what?
Biscuits.
Oh.
They've been left all alone in the house
I know.
for at least 5 minutes.
Badly done too. So there's the tops of some trees. This is woodland, kind of like middle distance. It's a very easy painting, this, by the way. I always say that, don't I, Gail?
You do, and then it goes on forever.
Sorry?
Ever.
Ever. Dearie me.
Well, it's just my arms ache.
Line coming underneath there, where the trees end, and make way for the cornfield or stubble field or wherever it may be at your time of year. But the thing is with a picture, you can make a picture whatever you want. I'm sticking a little building in there, just closer than that's technical term. Closer than I'll put my reading glass on, probably see better. Oh look, there's a drawing. Chimney there, and of course a very specialised pencil. Here's another chimney, slightly taller than that one. And I was down here last night with the boys, not the dogs.
Frank and Bert.
Frank and Bert, the bosses. And go down there. A little bit there. And there. That line went wobbly then, Gail.
Bit like you.
Beg your pardon. And I'm going to have a little one tagged in on the end there. Pointless drawing these, but I'm just putting them in to show you. I'm going to have some windows and a door, a couple of windows there, and stronger trees will be there and there. And a little bit of a track going in here. Again, that's not there, but it is now. And that'll disappear there. Now, yeah, that's about it for the drawing, to be honest. I'm fiddling a little bit now, Gail.
Not like you. Tell everybody not to fiddle, and then you do it.
I know. I'll post in there just because I can. I'm just thinking up things that are going to make the painting.
Okay.
Or make it sound like I know what I'm talking about. Fill there, that's better. I have a few tree trunks and stuff in here, but I'm not going to draw those. That's it, drawing done.
This isn't the picture we're doing, I just thought you'd like to see it. So now we're going to the other picture.
You talking to people when it should be me that's talking to people?
Well, I just thought I'd put my word in, you know.
I'll just let you know, people, off screen, then, while I was taping on the sides, which you see what I've now done, I said to Gail, it's all right, that drawing, isn't it? She said, well, it's just a bog standard drawing. This may be the last video that Gail ever makes me with me.
Who are you going to get to do it otherwise, eh?
Brett.
He's not as available as I am.
He's got less lip as well.
Brett. Joking.
Yeah, you're right. Right, time for the sky wash, and for that, my palette. My Stay Wet palette. And this one's a bit of a mess, yes, but it's a good old mate. Take the lid off, and I've got all my paint squeezed out there. You'll see the water trickling down there. Look. See that? I just put it on the carpet.
Oh, yeah.
The thing is, these will keep your paints moist and paintable for months. I mean, sometimes you only need to change it when it goes mouldy inside. So it's saving you a lot of money that you're not wasting in paint, because you know what acrylics are like. Once they dry up, you can't shift them out of your palette or whatever. So now, this bit I'm going to treat just like a watercolour. Loads of water from the top. So yeah, like I say, if you haven't got a Stay Wet palette, get yourself one, because they save you a lot of money over the years with what you don't waste in paint.
And you can either get a small one or one
Yeah,
like,
we've got both.
one
This
like
big
Charlie
one,
does. Uses.
or we've got a smaller one as well. And we carry the smaller one because a lot of people think that a big one is too big, but actually I prefer. Now, cobalt blue, bit of that, and a lot of titanium white. Again, the paints I'm using, System 3, Dale O'Reilly System 3. Coming down. Nice light sky on this one. Don't worry about lines, look at the lines, don't worry about them. As it dries out, those will go. I need a little bit more blue in there, actually. Just more blue into that mix. That's better, yeah. I like that now again. And now you can see what I'm talking about with the lines. But don't worry about them. They'll disappear as it dries out. And this is a very simple sky.
Acrylic doesn't change colour much.
No.
Does it?
A good point, Gail. I was just about to mention that before you jumped in, actually. No, with watercolour, when you put it on, it's going to dry. Can you see how those lines are going now?
Yeah.
When you put it on, it's going to dry out about 30% less than when you put it on. With acrylics, it will stay the colour, the depth of colour that you put on when it's wet. It won't change. Mop up on a little bits there. A few very simple ribbons of cloud in there. Still my big 1.5 inch brush. Look, just tap on. Oh, light.
So you're taking paint out again
Yeah.
there. You're not putting white on top,
No,
are you?
taking paint out. Yeah, I was just about to say that. A little bit there. Just a few wispy clouds. Wispy. I don't want to make too much of that sky. I want this to be about dark and light, strong dark and light, which we'll see in the trees and the field below. And again, mop up. And I'll leave that for a couple of minutes to dry. Now, the sky is on and finished. And it's by no means dry. I don't know if you can show that, Gail, glistening on the paper, how it's still all wet down here, look. You see that?
Sort of.
But anyway, you can see there, look.
Yeah.
See glistening there. What I'm saying is the sky is still wet. And you know how in watercolours, if the sky is still wet, you can't paint underneath it because it'll just bleed up.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I don't know why, but it won't bleed up like it does in watercolours. And I'm putting just as much water into it. So there we go. Look, here's a bit of hooker's green and raw sienna. A lot of raw sienna into the green. And plenty of water as well, look. Loads of raw sienna there. Don't forget, this is a summertime scene, so I want to keep the greens quite bright. Quite a bit of water there, look. And as I said, it's still wet, but look. See? It stays totally where I put it. Or as they say in Spain, totally. We used to do these courses in Spain and they wouldn't talk like that. Totally. Organic. It was organic, wasn't it?
Should take Mickey out of
Why not?
people's accents.
That wasn't an accent, that was an overstatement. Bit there. Just dab it on. And I'm kind of like keeping to the tops of it. I'm not coming all the way down to the bottom with it. Dabbing. Look, and again, no bleeding. Bring it down a little bit. And then this I'm going to have the light coming from the left. There's a reason for that. Don't know what it is yet.
No.
There will be. Quite sure. And I've changed my number 8 round brush, by the way. We'll have a few bits of that there as well. There'll be a lot more depth into this green eventually. But not at the moment. And some of that over here as well. Actually, I want a little bit more water into that there. Tapping up. Now if pencil marks bother you, which they don't bother me, paint it stronger. Get your mix stronger, cover your pencil marks. But like I say, they don't bother me at all. Now, so that was Hooker's Green and Raw Sienna. Now I've got Hooker's Green and Burnt Sienna. Right. Not quite that strong, Gail. That's good. Quite like that one. And your water in. And again, back in here. Oh, isn't that yummy? Is that yummy yet?
Quite strong, isn't it?
Yep, lovely and strong. Leave little bits of the first mix showing through in between. And don't forget, I should be putting some strong light on this afterwards as well. In the form of Naples
I
yellow.
was going to say, will it be made of Naples
I
yellow?
love Naples yellow.
Our favourite colour.
It is. Down here and some up here. I'll leave that for a second. I want that weaker. Bish bash bosh, just a lot of dabbing now, filling in. I could use a bigger brush to fill in more, but then I lose the opportunity, or could lose the opportunity, of getting that showing in between. You know, the dabbing shows the colours in between.
More texture.
Yeah. Yeah, you could say that, but I didn't.
I think that's the word you were looking for.
No, I wasn't actually. The word I was looking for was coffee.
Coffee? Yeah. You have to finish the picture first before you get coffee.
Okay. Bit of that, mate. You know, when I'm doing shows up and down all over the country, people bring me coffee all the time.
I can't bring you coffee and film, can I? Do most things, multitasking, but that one's beyond me.
I'm going to have to get a filming assistant.
Frank or Bert.
Frank. I'm coming down here. And I'm coming almost to the bottom, but you notice not all the way to the bottom of the trees. And I'm getting my hands a right mess here, Gail.
Ooh,
I think you kind of like mess with my brushes in between.
I did not.
Down there. And some bits here now. Getting it a little bit stronger now. A bit more paint on. Yeah. That kind of like shows between trees. And will do so more later on as well. I did I don't know if you remember it, a few years ago, when they were combining this field, I did a painting that just finished combining, and there were rolls on halfway of the field, and they were still combining the, you know, the rolls, A rolls. slow rolls, right? Slow bales. And I was going to put it up for sale, as most things are up for sale.
The picture.
The picture.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't mean the straw bales.
Just clarifying.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I said, Rob, do you like this? He said, yeah, I want that. So it never got to go for sale.
You have to explain who Rob is.
Well, Rob's one that owns the farm, a mate of mine.
Rob owns the farm?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he owns a brewery. If I drank beer, he'd be a very handy mate. Now, a little bit more water into that same mix. Like I did before with the lighter colour as well. Look, so it's a couple of shades lighter.
Is that because it's further away?
Yeah, well, I wanted to sit behind this one. Like that. Like so. So many people say on YouTube feedback, you two are a real double act. I'm just waiting one day for someone to compare with Johnny and Fanny Craddock. What was that famous statement of hers? Johnny's whatever.
It's just a soggy bottom, is it?
Yeah, no,
that's
it was something quite rude, I think.
Something to do with her fanny, I think.
Yeah. Did you really say that?
Oh, in America, the bags, aren't they?
Excuse me?
Fanny bags.
Let's not go into detail. Thank you. This is a family show. And that's the other thing that really surprises me. Because I'm, as we know, not into technology, not in the slightest bit. It always amazes me that people watch YouTube on telly. It's like a channel on telly these days, isn't it?
It is, yes. Are you showing your, your age, lack of technical knowledge?
Well, lack of everything knowledge apart from painting. How do you know better than anyone?
Sure.
I have no idea how to do anything.
You can empty the dishwasher
Yeah, I can do that.
sometimes.
Frank showed me how to do it.
Frank showed you.
Just dibbling.
Bert always does the pre-wash, so he knows a lot about it.
Yeah, that's true. Dogs are very good for pre-washes on dishwashers.
Especially burnt-on stuff.
That's disgusting. We shouldn't tell people that.
They're good at burnt-on stuff. They scrape it off with their tongues.
There.
Probably is too much information.
That's quite nice, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Don't go away. Just quick. Scrape with the back of my fingernail here and there. Look. That just shows you how wet I had it. Don't want too many of those because I'm going to put some dark ones in as well. Some bits there. Good Lord, look at that!
Beautiful. Who'd have thought?
Indeed, who'd have thought? Well, me, because I knew I was going to do it.
Took me by surprise, I have to say.
When you get out onto the road and you decide whether to turn left or right, that takes you by surprise. Yeah. I'm still with my round off now, because these trees are by no means finished yet. So now I'm going in with a little bit of cobalt blue. There you go, nice and strong. And a little bit of paint spray mixed in with it. Like that. A nice, it's a bluey grey. A bit more cobalt blue.
Like Payne's grey.
Yeah, more like that's paint spray that I'm putting into
I
it.
know,
Yeah.
I like Payne's grey as a colour.
Okay,
Or a mix.
I do, in acrylics. Don't like it in watercolours. So. There, nice and strong and dark. And like I said, be aware that the light is coming from the left. It's dark down here at the base of things, and a little bit in the left here and there as well. In the right of clumps of foliage here and there. Bit of digital out there. Had to have some digital out there.
You had to.
And nice and strong down here. And the reason why I'm making it so strong down here is because I have in mind how light I'm going to have this field. And it's going to be a real good
contrast.
Juxtaposition. That took you by surprise, didn't it?
It did. How many syllables has that word got?
A few. Between light and dark. I think I saw juxtaposition once on Landscape Artist of the Year.
Oh, it's a technical term.
Yeah. When they were all painting
On
plein air. I don't know how I go wrong by painting outdoors all the time. When I could be on plein
Got
air.
the wrong mindset.
I know. You know why?
Why?
It's because I'm a painter, not an artist.
Artiste.
Like that. And just dibbling and dabbling around here and there. And I'm going to soften some of this in a minute with my finger, just dabbing up. A few bits here and there. But now you can see there's a lot of colours that show very nicely in there without contradicting each other too much. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I know what I mean. A little bit of that over here as well. And then like so. And back there. So that now that dark colour will make those sit behind those once I put them in. You weren't burping there, were you?
Certainly not.
Okay, just checking. Now, just tap on with the flat of my finger, and I'm not rubbing it or anything, look. Just down. Just tapping. Now, a little bit of burnt sienna. Still with my number 8 round brush again. Burnt sienna. Just to add a little bit of difference down here. A bit of rough stuff at the base of the field. And take that up a little bit just here and there. Just a few different colours here and there just adds a little bit of life and interest to it. Doesn't it, Gail?
It does.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's almost as if you know what you're doing.
Almost.
Almost.
But not quite.
Well, you get in there.
Well, I keep practicing.
Yeah.
I was practicing last week in France. My God, it was so hot. We were painting en plein air in France. France. Last week and the week before. I was in, me and the group, we were in Picardy for the first 5 days. And then we moved to Honfleur for 4 days. And the temperatures, oh my God, unbearable practically. Some days it was like 33 degrees outside. And we were typical mad dogs and Englishmen out there painting amongst it. And we got some lovely paintings throughout the week, got to be said. So I should be doing that again next year, same one, when we decide on the dates. And, unfortunately, people, it will be my last working trip to France. I'm not going to do any more after next year. In France, I mean. It's just too knackering when you get to 71. There you go.
One.
Now, just to finish these off, now a little bit of Naples yellow. The great Naples yellow. Bit of that. Don't want much water in it, it's just a damp brush. I'm going to tap on in there, look. Oh God, I love Naples yellow so much. And it's here and there. So, yeah, like I say, next year will be the last painting holiday to France for anyone. So, and that will be about 25 years that I've been doing that particular painting holiday.
Really? 25 years?
25 years. Jean, the guy that owns the chateau that we've been going to in Picardy, said, Charles, next year, this year, no, it's this year actually, what I've just done. It's 25 years. He said, you are officially family. I already knew that.
Wow.
Tries to get me drunk all the time. 25 years. Well, yeah, it's time it stopped. Yeah.
Well, it's just the traffic. And
Well, French roads are bliss. And unfortunately, you get the minute you cross the channel and get to English roads, back on to English soil. That's when you come to a standstill for hours and hours and hours. The trip coming back the other day, I was driving for 12 hours. A bit more now, just tap on.
yeah, it's not good for you.
I'm too old for it. It's too tiring. I'm not too old for it, but I don't feel like I don't want to do it anymore. A little bit of that.
They're lovely, those trees. Lovely.
Is there really any need to sound so surprised?
I know, but I just stopped looking at the picture on the camera and looked at the actual paper, and they are beautiful.
Gail, get on with your job. Yeah, well done. Now, the trees are kind of dry. I'm going to pop these buildings in next, get them done and out of the way. And it's again back to my number 8 round brush. And the light, as I keep saying, is coming from the left. So I've got a little bit of blue and Payne's grey, with plenty of water in. I'm going to pop down there. It's a white building. Well, there is no building there, but I've decided it's a white building. So in darkness, in the dark side, on a white building, have it blue-ish. More water there, that's better. Bring that down, to there. Bit rough at the bottom. Have a rough bottom. And that chimney there. And the white, I'm just going to leave white. For the time being, anyway. Now, a little bit of burnt sienna. Red roof, white building, classical.
You can do that with paper, can't you? But you can't do it with canvas.
No, you can't. What? Leave the white showing?
Leave the white on the canvas, it goes yellow.
No, you always paint the white on canvas. Because, as you said, it will turn yellow over here. So just left white canvas. Well remembered, Gail. Smart.
I know all the series, just can't actually paint.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. A little bit there, and a little bit on that roof there. You know the theories, because I told you.
I know.
I know.
They're not my theories, these are yours theories.
Which of course are right.
Regurgitated them to you. Yes, they're right because
in case I've forgotten.
Yes.
My own theories.
No, in case you've forgotten to mention it.
Okay. Oh, where are you coming from? Now, for a second, I'm going to go to my rigger brush. Number 4 rigger. I just want some little bits of Payne's grey. Plenty of water into it. Bit of Payne's grey there. Just some little strokes for windows. Got a wobble there, girl.
Careful.
Haven't even had any wine. Haven't even had any wine. What's happening?
What are you saying?
I've gone wobbly.
Oh, you have gone wobbly altogether. I thought it was just your...
No, just that hand.
Oh, just that hand.
Yeah, went wobbly. Basically, it's because I was leaning on that side of the board, which is moving. So now, look, total mistake there. So I'll just go back to my number 8 round brush. And this is the beauty of acrylics. You can't make mistakes, because afterwards you can just wash them out if they're still wet and then paint over them. But that was seriously a wobble. You can see the board moving.
Yeah.
Wasn't my hand, Gail.
Oh, okay.
And I haven't been on the wine either.
Well, can I just advise you?
Go on.
Don't lean on the board. You know it makes sense.
Why do I put up with this? I used to be saying.
Maybe you did that on purpose to show everybody how to correct your mistakes.
Yeah. I could say that.
You could say that.
If I was the master of bullshit like you. Paint on that again, look. There you go. The steak covered up, and once that's dry I shall put another couple of strokes in there. And you'll notice as well, people say, well, why paint acrylics like watercolour? Why not just paint watercolour on paper? Because if you look at the trees, look at the different depths of colours, and light and dark and stuff like that. And that's the thing, I put light on dark. That you can't do with watercolours, whereas you can with acrylics. Now again, a little bit of Payne's grey and blue, a bit stronger this time. And where the roof meets the building, just a nice dark hard line underneath there. Shadow there makes the roof sit down on the building. Doesn't it, Gail?
It does.
A little bit of that. Straight across where the roof meets the building. There. And I'll go back to now windows in a second. In the meantime, a little bit of nice and strong hooker's green and burnt sienna. Look at that. Plenty of burnt sienna. Frank, what are you doing?
Trying to find a nice comfortable corner.
Plenty of groaning and mumbling going on as well.
That's just from you.
I can only take so much, you know. A little bit there. Now, hooker's green, burnt sienna, nice and strong there, look. And again, it's these trees that help to push the building further out. Down here. And there, look. It's got noisy because I left the door open, by the way, folks.
Hoping the dogs would go out, but they're not.
No.
I think birds seen a fly.
And as we know, flies are deadly. Bit of that, nice and strong. And a bit down here. Carefully around the building. So. Now, you see how those really help to push the buildings out. One bit there as well. All with the number 8 round brush. The number 8 round is a superb piece of kit in your paint box because you can do fairly fine point work with it, even though it's quite a broad brush, quite a big brush. But then you can do big broad strokes with it as well, all with one brush. And number 10 is a bit too big, well, it's quite a bit too big. And number 6 is too small. Number 8, perfect. That's why I use them all the time. And interestingly enough, these are my same brushes as for watercolour. Aquafine watercolour brushes. And this set, as you can tell by the state of them, is about 8 years old now, I should think. And they will take all the abuse. Now, a little bit of Payne's grey and blue again. This time more Payne's grey, want it darker. Payne's grey, touch of blue. Right. Bit more blue. Now I'm going to have that where the trees meet the building, making that even darker and stronger. Just a few touches there, look. A bit down there. that. A little bit there. Like that, there you go. Now back to my rigger brush and just reinstate those two little window things. Window things, meaning windows. Now move yourself. I'll get my hand in. Look, I've done it again, bloody hell. That's alright.
Yep, you got away with it that time.
Yeah, I got away with it. Now, to my 3/4 inch brush for these trees here. And these are slightly different insofar as I'm starting off with raw sienna, just raw sienna, no green. Split the brush like so. You see that mess? And stipple on. Keep it split. Now a little bit of green and raw umber. Hocus green and raw umber. There it is. Oh, everyone, I learned a very sad fact. Got some very sad information the other day. The patching show in Nottinghamshire is now no more. It will never happen again. That's such a shame. I've been doing that show for a good 25 years. Tap in there. Actually, 30 years, I think. And it's just a sign of the times. It's not going to happen again.
End of a lot of eras.
Yeah, end of an era indeed. And I think that was the last show as well. Big show, isn't it? There aren't any more big shows. And now...
There's occasional craft shows, but
yeah, I'm talking
art
about proper
shows.
art shows. I'm not talking about sticking bits of litter to cards.
Don't.
Okay, well, you know my feelings on that. Now, Payne's Grey and raw umber. A few bits in there. Like so. There. It's all the trees done. Now it's to the big fields. This paint is nearly done, to be honest. Just a few big washes here. And I'm not pre-wetting like a sky, but I am going in with raw sienna. Nice and weak with lots of water. Lots of water there. And simply go across there. And it's these colours now that really make sense of everything. That make that all those trees sit down into the landscape. Across there and across. See what I mean about everything sits down and makes sense now.
Yeah,
Does what I'm saying make sense?
you're right, like.
I'm right, like. You see how much water I've got in there, how it's flowing beautifully. Up to that. And a little bit more water, a bit more paint, a bit more water. Gosh, look how quickly that's drying here.
Mm-hmm.
Bit more. And just leaving that little bit of path showing there. Just a smidgen of it.
Painting over the gatepost. Oh,
The post, yeah, that's going to be a lot darker. Coming in here. There's going to be more going on there in a second, but that needs to dry first. But Gail referred to me painting through. Doesn't matter about painting through it as long as I can see where it is, because the paint is going to be darker and stronger there. Bit of raw umber there, with a bit of water into it, like so. Now, with a just paint spray, and that's going down, of course, the right hand side of it. There. Get that. And bring it down. And just one little post, like starts the eye off into the picture. I know what I mean by that statement, but it's an interesting one to take you in. Do you see that, Gail?
Mm-hmm.
And now, guess what colour next?
What?
Bit of Naples yellow. Oh, and Naples yellow on there. I'll bring that down a little bit. Now some big grasses. I'm not finished with that yet. Some big grasses, or even, beg your pardon, or even grasses in the foreground here. And again, raw sienna and hooker's green. There. Raw sienna, hooker's green, and start and flick upwards. Look. See what a nice yummy green that is, isn't it?
Mm.
I surprised myself with that green. Flicks here and there, and around the base of the post. And now just flick up a few flicky bits. Bish bash bosh, and again from the bish bash bosh, flick upwards. Up. Basically just filling in, then flick up. Now a little bit of hooker's green and burnt sienna. Different stroke this time, rather than the flat of the brush pulling upwards. Look, tap it like so. Good that, isn't it, Gail?
I like that stroke.
Hey?
I like that. It looks a lot more complex than it really is.
Sound like that woman. Sound like that woman on Gogglebox. I like that.
I like that.
A few flicks there, here and there. And a few roller flicks as well. Just to merge in at the bottom. Now, back to that bit. And Naples yellow, good and strong. I've got just about no water in that brush, slightly damp. Naples yellow, good and strong here. I don't know if people can hear that on the camera. Can you hear the bees?
Hear the what?
The bees.
No.
I can hear them buzzing away. We've got a bee's, is it a nest?
Yeah.
It's not a hive. A bee's nest in the roof of the building. And it's been there for, at least 15 years. Well, I've been in this house for 35 years, and I always remember it being there so longer than 15 years. You can touch this here and there. And they're buzzing away today. You can tell it's a nice day. The bees are active.
Busy bees.
Busy bees. Oh, Gail,
See what I did there?
that's all you did there, all right. Now, just be quiet, okay? Sorry, was that abusing you?
It was.
Now, a little bit of shadow here and there. And for that, I've got a little bit of Payne's grey and blue. I'm keeping it simple to the same colours. Payne's grey and blue. Mainly blue. A little bit of that. And a few touches in there. I'm going to have some where that track is. So I need more water in that. Just at the top edge of that track, leaving the bit in the middle white. There, look. It just accentuates it ever so slightly. Accentuates it. Do you like that one, Gail?
Oh, God, you're coming out with them today.
I know.
Is it because it's summer?
Oh no. I'm just in touch with my poetic side. Don't like that bit. I'm just going to soften it up. And a little bit of that down here. A few touches here and there. A bit of that. And, you know, I think that's more or less it, Gail.
Okay.
You.
Lovely.
I'll go in with my rigger brush and we'll have, I'm going to soften those, not like that. That's better. I like that now. Rigger brush and Payne's grey and blue again. Plenty of water into it. And we'll have a few bods. That's Northumbrian for birds. And I think that will about do. Now, just to take the tape off. And there we go. Quite a pleasing little summer scene, that one actually. But as you've seen, not too difficult. The important bit about this whole thing is the difference in the greens in those trees there, and the strong light and strong dark going on within the trees. And like I said, fairly simple, but quite striking. As I said, the paints that I use, System 3, Dale Rowney System 3. I've always used Dale Rowney, as we know. And these are beautiful paints. They just go on really smooth and creamy. That's a few of the colours that I'm using. They just go on really smooth and creamy. And fairly strong as well. So, you know, a tube will last you quite a long time. You can make them nice and thick, like I did in some of the trees and stuff. Or you can make them really watery, by putting more water in. A beautiful, beautiful paint. So you don't need to go massively expensive with paints. These are what? Well, £1.75 or something.
£2.70.
£2.75 on the
£2.70 a tube.
£2.70. I'll
Get
do
it right.
eventually. I don't know anything, mate. £2.70 on the website. There's quite a few books on acrylics on the website again. Painting with System 3. That one tells you all about System 3 because there's a hell of a lot of different products within the range of System 3, and it shows you how to use them all. And of course, acrylics for the absolute beginner. That was a bestseller, and it just shows you how to get going with acrylics and go to some fairly complex scenes towards the end of it. The paper I'm using, as I said, I don't use acrylic paper. This one is the Langton Rough, which I use for my watercolours every day, and also I use for my acrylics. Lovely textured surface to it, and as you can see, it won't wobble and mess you about. Good paper. But also, there's an aquafine paper we've only just started selling, to be honest, and it's really good textured paper, and will stand for a lot of abuse. Oh, black Labrador hairs, look. Will stand for a lot of abuse as well. Lovely paper, but that one is a couple of quid cheaper than that one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the brushes, as ever, just the same 4 brushes. My aquafine brushes, 1.5 inch flat, 3/4 inch flat, number 8 round, and a number 4 rigger. Well and truly abused, and still well and truly doing the job well. So now to the extra products. Makes it sound like a shopping channel here.
It does, doesn't it?
But it's not, it's a painting channel. Gail has started doing things on the 3D printer. She's a bit of a whiz of it these days, and she's designed lots of things, and here's some of them. The bucket's obviously split, or just a whole bucket with paint on, and different shapes. And then also we've got the paint palettes, which are pocket palettes. Look at that. Fabulous. So you've got your squeezing areas, you can preload it before you go out, and you've got your mixing area. Just wipe it out in between mixes and close it and pop it in your pocket. Actually, I think I'll just make that.
I'll let you have that one.
But
It's complimentary.
oh, you don't want me to pay for it. A really good idea, that.
And you can
Tell us about the tubes, Gail.
take the middle bit out as well. The tubes are for carrying your brushes around with you. They're screwed together, but the top bit, so you don't carry your brushes upside down, is marked top.
That is so cool.
And
actually.
there's 3 sizes, and each takes different amounts of brushes, different colours. So the small, medium and large.
You're quite clever, you, for a man, can't you? And there we go, folks. Hopefully you've enjoyed today, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
All the things are available on the shop.
Oh, yes.
All available on the shop.
She said it.
www.charlesevansart.com.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.